Hey y'all, happy Tuesday. And I'm almost done with my video. I'm almost done. So excited. Well, not excited, but I'm excited to have one thing almost completed today. What are y'all up to? What y'all doing? I'm going to play this quick intro and then we're going to hop right into this. This won't be a super long, in-depth 5-hour live stream. I mean, it could be because, wow, the misinformation is heavy. But we're just going to talk about some key things right quick and get going. Hey y'all. Okay. So first and foremost, I know there's a lot of speculation running around currently in this case. I know that there's a lot of people saying a lot of different things. Unless you have an actual source that includes law enforcement, I don't want misinformation spread in my chat, please and thank you. This is an active, ongoing missing persons child's case, and we don't need to add to that. So unless it's been confirmed by law enforcement, please keep the speculation out of here because this is an active and ongoing investigation, and people like Blowhorn Betty and her little cronies hurt cases like this, in my opinion. So please keep it to a minimum. Hey, Pika. Hey, Lisa. You know, we might end up. Hey, Kareen. You guys, I have some conflicting views on Grizzly, and that might make some of you upset, but is what it is. Hey, Starry Night. Coffee with Cece, Britt, Am, Kathy P, Natalie, Revival, Becca, Stonefly, Blue, Peg, Marie, Amy, North Texas. No way, not BHP, right? Say it isn't so. Stephanie. Ugh. Hey, Amberly, Curious. Literally Davis fam. Tia, try me, bitch. Yeah, I don't blame you guys. Hey, Limey. Grizzy, not Grizzly True Crime. Grizzy, not. Thank you, Tracy. Yeah, Stephanie, we call him Spanky for a reason because he is full of shit and is very harmful to cases like this. If you like him, totally fine. But just know that he's an absolute piece of shit who does horrible things to victims and their families. And BHB and him have a mod that they share that completely goes to the excessive points. Yeah. And they do a lot of shit by digging into people that, you know, I hope that if she is found, whatever the case may be, once it's all confirmed, you know, that's not why we're here. Unfortunately, there's a million stories that we could talk about. Oh, Justin on TikTok. You're talking about the guy from Tennessee. Hey, Julie. Thank you, Tracy. Thank you for becoming a member. Yeah, the truth. Hey, Cool Gamer. Hey, CL Glory. Sorry, I missed some of you guys. Make sure I got all of you guys. Okay, so the purpose of why we're here is because I just want to point out a few things. Kathy P actually played the same part of the same clip that I'm going to point out. But what I want to point out is the problem I have with people like BHB, the people I have like Spanky, all of these people who continue. Hey, Chico. Hey, literally Davis fam, Deborah. There is so much to this. And I also want to address a few questions that I've been getting about why all of this stuff is of interest. So we'll kind of get into a few different things. So we're going to start over here. Let me share my screen with you guys. She actually did a live stream, so we're going to hop on this one first, and then we are going to go to another one. So there's only a little bit of this that I want to play. Her video quality is shit because she's out on the scene, you know, in the field. But I want to highlight a few things that she said here. And for those of you that are BHB stans, you're welcome to be here. You're welcome to have your opinion. But understand that if your opinion includes that this is helpful for active ongoing cases, be expected that you're going to get met with some criticism and some questions of exactly fucking show me how this helps. Show me exactly how beneficial this is. Show me exactly how one of these people have done anything besides exploit the ever-loving shit out of these tragedies. And if you can't answer those questions, then you might want to sit on your fucking hands. Because I'm a little aggressive for a reason. There's no room for bullshit like this. Okay, this is from her live from the other day. It's still on her page. We're not going to watch an hour of it. I couldn't even. But we're just going to take it back a minute.
This is on the other side of the Trinity. You know, the Trinity Bridge is blocked off. And that is the best way I can get you. I know it's a little blurry for everybody out there, but we have no internet out here. So I'm running off a hot box on 3G. You guys are getting 3G, okay? It's the best you guys are going to get. I love each and every one of you. That's why we are doing this.
So she's doing this because she loves each and every one of you. First and foremost, stop the bullshit. You don't love anybody, including yourself. Let's just throw the shit away. You can have empathy, all that. That's what we're going to be talking about in this, because the whole like, I'm doing this because I love you guys. I'm doing this for you. I'm taking the hits for you. Fucking take a seat. You sound just like Orange Jesus at this point. He is fighting this fight to take the hits so nobody else has to do that. And you'll understand. One of the questions I've been asked a lot recently is, why do I bring politics into these situations? Because it's what they're doing. She's pushing a political agenda and propaganda through true crime. That's why we talk about it. Yeah, Linda, that's what I'm hearing. I'm really hoping she was found. It's a horrible situation. We're not taking away from that. But these people need to sit the fuck down. And it's not just her. Let me be clear. It's not just Betty. But the reason why politics gets brought into this is because, unfortunately, it's involved in all of this shit. She is using her channels to push a political agenda. That's it. That's all. She was on her way to the Texas border for the border crisis invasion. And I'm sorry, if you are still calling it an invasion after you've seen what is really going on and don't understand the federal rules, the policy in place, and all of that, please have a seat with her.
Audrey Cunningham is an 11-year-old girl that went missing on February 15th at 7 a.m. It is believed that her father's roommate, Don Stephen McDougal, goes by Stephen McDougal, is responsible for this. Guys, there is some major information.
He's a person of interest
That we have learned about this case. Okay, this is breaking information.
This was breaking information. Okay.
You may have heard about it, but it has been corroborated.
It's been corroborated. You know, like you would take that and listen to that and think, oh, law enforcement confirmed this. Somebody with authority confirmed this.
Stephen McDougal tried to sell a set of barbell weights.
First of all, they're not called barbells. They're called plates, weight plates. Let me lay some things into perspective here. She was 75 pounds. She's claiming that a 25-pound weight was missing. You do the fucking math.
The day that Audrey went missing, I had an opportunity.
Yes, y'all, we know she's been found. Thank you for the updates. I'm sure the family is absolutely devastated, as they should be. It is, unfortunately, there are so many missing children. There are so many missing people, and they all deserve to be brought home. Every single one of them, not just the blonde-haired, blue-eyed little girls.
to review that image. And a 25-pound barbell weight is missing. It's nice to see everybody. Good afternoon, good morning. I don't know what time it is. It is now officially afternoon, I think, for at least some parts of the United States.
That's for audio.
It's nice to see everybody here. We are covering the case of Audrey Cunningham, 11-year-old missing girl. And we are out here at location. There were some, why are we back out here? A few reasons. Because when we're boots on the ground, guess what? We don't get shit wrong.
Oh, really? You don't get shit wrong. How many channels are dedicated to proving all the shit wrong of Betty's shenanigans over how many years? I mean, Burnt Toast does an exceptional job on her own. But there is so many channels, and Burnt Toast isn't solely dedicated to BHB, unlike BHB likes to claim. And she just does the laugh stuff. She doesn't even get into like the deep weeds of all of the shit that she's doing. Betty, you do nothing but spread misinformation.
As soon as we leave and people start popping off with that stupid misinformation just to screw with everybody, guess what? I come back out here so everybody gets the right information out here and not screwed with by these animals, these assholes on these social media platforms. We say no to online bullying. We say no to interjecting into criminal investigations. Bullshit.
Meanwhile, that's exactly what she's fucking doing, is interfering in an active, ongoing investigation. That's what she's doing. But she says, no to online bullying. Hey, Betty, do you forget about a year and a half ago when you fucking called me and made a veiled threat to me because you didn't like the fact that I was picking apart your buddy, Moose Knuckle Magoo and her Dragon Fupa? You didn't like when I was calling her out on her bullshit? So you felt threatened? So you had to call me and leave me a veiled threat on my phone? Shut the fuck up about you don't like bullying. Bitch, you're a goddamn grown-ass adult who puts this stuff out here on your own. You do nothing but spread misinformation and interfere in cases, all to push a political narrative, because that's your activism, right? Your political agenda is what you're doing.
Okay? Shame on everybody out there that was doing and spreading multiple misinformation about this case, intentionally thwarting the people trying to get the information out there to the public.
Oh, yeah. So YouTube true crime sleuths, armchair detectives, with no credentials, no backgrounds, are all in this race to get shit out first, that they don't even vet anything. They don't care. It's all about trample to the finish line. Whoever can run across the finish line with some speculation to top it up, to get those clicks and those views, like that. That's kind of what she's meaning here.
Shame on you. I'm sick and tired of dealing with this from animals.
You know what I'm sick and tired? I'm sick and tired of you calling yourself an advocate and the person that you politically align with. Do you want to talk about that, Betty? Don't ever say you represent the victims or speak on behalf of the victims when you disregard all the victims of the people that you support. Get the fuck out of here with this bullshit.
On YouTube.
Sorry, and I am raw and real today because I'm about sick of hearing this shit.
And other social media platforms such as TikTok that intentionally do this shit for clicks and views. Okay? If you want to start talking about it, you want to speculate.
Isn't that funny how that's how her and Olivia got their start, was through TikTok? Doing the same exact thing on cases on TikTok, but she kind of got ran off of TikTok and out of the little cronies over there.
Tell the people you are speculating, acting like it's true information because you thought it in your brain.
Meanwhile, she's got a video up that says the coroner was requested, but the entire video, she doesn't talk about it.
Doesn't make it so. People don't always like Bullhorn Betty because I tell it like it is.
Never liked you. Not once.
And I'm telling everybody like it is. Stop.
He's as delusional as Tube Top Travesty.
Stop with the BS. These are real people's lives. These are real cases. And this is real information that we are trying to get out to the public related to a missing 11-year-old child. And I understand that for some people out there, some monsters out there They don't really care about justice for this little girl.
Pay attention to this part. This is why I'm here. This is why I have a problem with this. And if you find yourself in this category and cannot disconnect from these cases and are so personally invested in them, please take a step back and look at the reality of this, because this is straight up bullshit. Bullshit.
Well, I hate to tell you, and I hate to burst your bubble, the people watching this right now do care about that little girl. Chronicles of Olivia, sitting down there trying to make sure all this stuff gets out to you with great information, loves that little girl.
That's impossible. She doesn't know her. That's a complete stranger that she never interacted with, didn't have a single thing to do with. There is no way that she can love this child, this missing child. So stop trying to emotionally manipulate your subs and everybody else by saying you guys care so much. You could have empathy. But this whole thing right here, this we love her so much, blah, 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 is a crock of shit. Why don't you love all the other kids that are missing? Oh, because they don't bring clicks and views. You could do this in every city around the United States with missing persons cases. Every single city, there is missing people, children, but they're not worth the time and energy. How do you figure out your cases, Betty? Oh, the clicks and views, the ones that are relevant in the media. You know what's really sad is on the same day that Audrey went missing, around that time frame, there was another Amber Alert issued in Texas for another missing child. She's actually been found. That's why I removed my live stream the day we were going to do it. Not one of them attempted to even do a segment on the other little missing girl who was endangered missing, potentially a traffic victim. Not one of them gave a shit about her. Why do you think that is?
And I can tell you, sitting here, I am one angry and hot mama over this little girl and over the danger that she was subjected to.
You have no idea what she was subjected to. You have no clue. And you're sitting out here acting like you know all these things, that you have some personal inside information to know what she lived through, what she didn't live through. You have no freaking clue. None. Besides wild speculation based off of social media posts and what little info you've gathered through gossip. That's it. You have no clue. For you to continue to put yourself in these positions and act like you have some sort of connection is completely disrespectful to that family. I'm sorry, and it's fucking weird. It is weird. Why are people doing this? You can care, you can have empathy, you can have sympathy. But thankfully, most of us are not in those shoes and could not even understand how this family is feeling right now. So to even try and reconcile that and make it some ploy of emotional manipulation towards her channel is disgusting, in my opinion.
Okay? I feel very, very, very for her family. I really do. Let me be very clear on that. I feel very, very bad for her family. But her family put her in jeopardy. Not only her mother with the drugs, but her father putting that animal in that house with her. This should have never happened. There's a lot of...
I feel bad for her family, but I'm going to take every chance I can to make sure I make my shots. Take my shots, drug addiction. You're a real piece of shit, Betty.
Blame to go around, but now's not the time or the place. So I just want to make sure
you don't see law enforcement out here putting blame and trying to dissect the family dynamics, do you? Because they're trained professionals. That's why they're not doing that.
Sure, everybody knows we will not be addressing that in chat or on these lives. That is the one and done statement Bullhorn Betty has related to the situation. They do deserve their privacy. I am absolutely confident they did not expect this to happen.
They deserve their privacy. Meanwhile, she brags about running background checks on them and all of their neighbors and everybody that potentially might have been affiliated with them. And she has no qualms about it.
But again, this is why you protect your children at all costs and don't let them around people that has swastika tattoos all over them from head to toe and leave your daughter alone.
All right. This is going to be touchy. And some of you might get pissed off at me for saying this. A swastika tattoo. Most of you know what that stands for. A lot of times those are prison tattoos or people get them in prison, part of the AB. Okay. But I'll be damned if this bitch isn't trying to make it sound like anybody with a swastika tattoo isn't some sort of child harmer. You need to do your research, Betty, because you just probably spit in the faces of a bunch of people you don't want to. Now, I don't agree with how they align their thoughts, feelings. Let me be very clear, as you guys know, that is nothing I will ever justify. However, to try and just let me play a little further
with someone like that. You cannot trust people this day and age. We live in a different society, in a different place, and we just have to be extra cautious when it comes to our babies.
So a tattoo should have been a sign that he was going to harm a child. First and foremost, he is a suspect, a person of interest. I don't even know if he's been named as a suspect. Person of interest. That might be changed now. But I'll be damned. And meanwhile, she's chummy with Mike Lindell. My Pillow, you know, and his alignments. Pretty fucking interesting.
This man was working. He was trying to do the right thing, and he trusted the wrong person. And look where we're at right now. We have to start looking at the people we introduce to our children. If you've got problems, you know, I'm not the one to judge. Everybody knows my history, and I will tell you.
I'm not the one to judge. Meanwhile, while I judge the fuck out of everybody, but I don't have children. I've never had to deal with any real struggles in life besides self-inflicted ones. Bitch, sit the fuck down, Betty. You have never advocated for anything in your fucking life besides yourself, you selfish piece of shit. You do nothing unless it's opportunistic and self-serving. Let's just be clear. You say that you say it all with your chest. Bullshit you do. You can't even be honest about why you even have a channel or why you were in Texas to begin with. You tried to skirt around that and said you didn't even tell your mods. Why are you ashamed? Oh, because you say you're an advocate. You say you're all these things. Meanwhile, you're just an opportunistic piece of shit, in my opinion.
If you want to party and you want to have a good time, you take that shit elsewhere, not around your children, and you do not bring those animals into your home. That is the best way you can end up like this.
You know what? Do you know how many people, thank you again, Bree, things happen right in their own homes and they have no clue? And they live with so much regret because shit happens. You can do everything fucking right and something can go wrong. Somebody can abuse. You can trust somebody, know they have a clean background, everything. She finally goes on to admit later in this, which I don't even think I'll get to because I can't listen to her that long in this one, that most people that are abused, it's from somebody in authority. No shit, fucking Sherlock. Where have you ever been? Oh, wait. Because you tried to push off the agenda that human trafficking was from these third world countries, right? That's what was happening. Meanwhile, in America, the reality of it is it's usually somebody that is related to a person of confidence, a friend, a coach, a religious figure, youth group. That's who's usually abusing our children. You don't want to talk about that, do you, though, Betty? Because the last time you tried to promote that Tim Ballard and all of his bullshit, you know, with the Sound of Freedom was all correct information. Probably don't want to go back down that road, do you? Can you just get to the border? Because I would have a fucking heyday with your ass at the border. Kyle and I are waiting for it.
Keep that stuff separate, okay? I'm not going to judge you for what you're doing, but just keep it away from your children, okay? That's all I'm going to ask you. Keep it away from your children and don't let those type of people around your children. So the update right now is...
and by the way, she also has this thing where she likes to say that some people have changed. So if you were real stupid, spent some time in prison, had a tattoo, didn't have it covered up yet, most people get them covered up pretty soon, you know, changed your ways. That happens sometimes. But she's basically trying to profile, in my opinion, a little bit about some things here, which she probably shouldn't because her belief system kind of aligns with some of that shit?
We have some, well, we're doing some sleuthing. And of course, there's other people doing some sleuthing. So,
yeah, Mary, it usually does. But some people have changed. They usually cover them. But to try and say that because you have a swastika that you're going to harm a child is pretty big leap. When the AD is part of the group that is pretty proud to take care of pedophiles when they get to prison, I guess prison politics probably fails some people too.
Stephen McDougal's marketplace images of trying to get rid of those barbells was a shocker for me. And I made Olivia send it over to me, and I looked at it. And as soon as I looked at it, I realized there's a 25-pound bell, round circle. These are your barbells. Okay, you put the little circle weights on the ends, right? We all know what a barbell is. Well, you know how they have
a barbell is one singular. It's all attached. What she's talking about again is a weighted plate. She went on this rant about putting off misinformation, but then they found a post again on Facebook. And so this is the big breaking details.
Like 2, 5, 10, 15.
Thank you, Am.
Or is it, 5, 10, 15, or 10? I think, I can't remember. But anyways, it's 15 and 25. They skipped 20 for some reason. So I think he had a 5, a 10, a 15, and 25. He had 2 sets because obviously a barbell, you put them on both ends, right? So he has 2 sets of every single size except the 25-pound weight. The 25-pound weight, he only had one. Only one. And he tried to sell it that day, the day that she disappeared. So I have reason to believe. Now, again, this is let me show all these creators how to do it. This is my opinion, okay? This is my perspective based on what I saw and the relevant information I seen, right?
Okay, so she at least states it's her opinion. But putting this off in the middle of an active, ongoing search and it's not vetted through law enforcement, how's that helping again?
Right? So I'm assuming that doesn't make it true. It makes it Bullhorn Betty's assumption that it is possible that that 25-pound weight is impossibly with.
Yes, y'all, she has been found. It's been confirmed by the news. Am sent me the articles. Again, I'm not gonna, that's not why I'm here. I don't tend to cover active, ongoing, unless I'm just giving like blurbs of what law enforcement has released. I'm here because people like BHB are using misinformation in their platforms to spread misinformation. It's really unfortunate that she has been found. I'm not going to play the press conference. I find it disrespectful to even intermix me cussing this bitch out and a missing child that has been found. That is something I won't do. I find it completely trashy and I won't do that. So please, if you want to go watch the press conference when it happens, feel free to do that. I find it disrespectful to the family and to the little girl, unfortunately, that's been found, to do the same.
Audrey Cunningham, okay? Does that make it true? Not necessarily, but that's where we're at. The helicopter was here. If you guys haven't watched the video, we just did a video, dropped a video before we did this live and on the TikTok. And it shows the helicopter images. We actually, right across there where you're looking at right now, a helicopter was seated. And
no, not a fucking helicopter. No way. A helicopter in the sky.
While we were here surveilling the area.
Oh my gosh. When they have the area under surveillance, there has to be a helicopter flying in airspace. No.
Started as propellers and ended up going up into the sky.
No.
And it's flying around.
It started its propellers and went up into the sky. No. That's got to be rocket science. That's how she figured that shit out.
Here. So when we got here, it was grounded. When we started taking out, not that they even know or paying attention to us, it's just one of those coincidences that happened while we were here, here on this this part of the, I don't even know what this is. I guess this is a lake, and we're on one side of it, and you're looking at the opposite side. Right there is the dam. If you see the, let me, for you guys can't see that. Hold on, I'm gonna turn you guys just ever so slightly. That is the dam right there. Okay. And they're starting some back here.
All right, I can't handle this one. We're gonna switch it up here. We're gonna switch to the other live that she did, because this is annoying. Her freaking bad internet service is enough to make me want to go insane. Okay, let me go to the current one that she did. Give me 1 second. Let me get out of here. I swear, some of these people could give me an aneurysm with how stupid they are. All right, of course she did. Well, you guys want to watch that one of how she announces it? You guys want to announce the one? I know, Revival, it's terrible. Do you guys want to watch the one where she announces this? Yeah, I feel terrible for the family. But of course, it's all about clicks and views. It's only 3 minutes. We can watch. If it gets bad, I'm shutting it off, because if she's disrespectful to any bit of the family in this, I will be shutting it off, just so you know. Okay. I'm worried about what she's going to say in this. I have not watched this before, and usually I like to vet.
All right, guys. So I'm going live right now. I'm going to turn this off. This is
no shit, Sherlock. I'm going live right now. We know you're live. God, you're getting gray, Betty. I mean, I want to go gray. I'm all for going gray naturally.
I'm going live right now because we're just learning the area that we were at earlier today when we said we saw officers. You know what? Hold on a second. Everything's snagging on each other.
Didn't law enforcement yesterday during the press conference ask them to stay out of the area? Didn't they specifically ask them to stay away from the area? I'm pretty sure they did.
She from what we're learning right now, Audrey Cunningham has been recovered. She is, deceased. So Audrey Cunningham has was found today. She's been found deceased. They have not confirmed that it is her yet, but they are, I'm sure, going to be at this press conference confirming the body.
So far, I'm not upset. So far, she's been.
They found earlier today while we were there is, in fact, Audrey Cunningham. Now, we can look at this several different ways.
Oh, and here we fucking go.
Obviously, this is heartbreaking news for everyone involved, everyone.
Yes, the news has confirmed. It's coming out in the news stations, and there's a press conference. Unfortunately, it's not just from Betty. It is confirmed.
But this is also good news, because now they can start doing their investigation into the animal that did this to her, and that is important. Sorry, guys. I'm trying to do 1,000 things right now. I've got to get my.
You know, she's so invested in this, but she's got a million things going on. So far, I won't say I'm like, this at least is keeping the speculation to a minimum. I was expecting her to go off the rails like she normally does. The Shining, yes, I did see that.
Because the problem is all the audio has been coming in bad because I haven't had my my wireless mic set up because it wasn't charged. So I charged it last night. I'm glad I did, because we're going to need it today for this press conference. So you're probably going to have shitty audio and shitty video. I'll be honest.
She's just making excuses. We're going to go back. We're going to go back a minute and look at the one from earlier today. Because she posted this one, 2 hours ago? An hour ago? This was her earlier one, and I wanted to pick out this, or pick through this one a little bit. Guess what? The bitch is headed to the border now, and you'll get to watch Becky probably argue with my screen. I'm Becky. It pisses people off when I talk in the third person, so I've been doing it even more lately, and now I'm in the habit, and I'm like, God damn it, I'm annoying myself with it. But I hope this bitch gets her ass to the border so we can debate some bullshit that she's about to spew when she gets there. Okay, let's check this one out. This is 10 minutes.
You guys turned around here. We got some developments. There's going to be a news conference on at 4. We're here. This is that there's some tape over there under the bridge. There's people.
Unfortunately, this is, from my understanding, the area that she ended up being found. And law enforcement specifically asked the public to stay out of these locations yesterday.
How much you guys can see over there. You guys can see the orange tape, officers sitting there talking. So we don't know what they found. We weren't out here at the time, honestly. So we know that there's a press conference. When we came by here about an hour or two ago, we saw a lot of officers sitting out here looking over something, over a few things that we could not identify out here. And so with it being a press conference and everything like that, it is my belief that something happened out here. And now that we have the orange tape up there, we don't know what that something is.
That's kind of like common sense logic. 1 + 1 = 2. Typical people, when they see crime scene tape, when law enforcement specifically asks you to stay out of an area, they have a reason to be searching that area. They don't want people contaminating things. They don't want, video cameras going and recording something as they're trying to recover a body. Like, there's reasons for this, but she throws all that right out the window. She don't give a shit about anybody. Again, tell me again how she claims to care about the victims when all this is opportunistic BS.
That's about as far as I'm going to be able to get you guys right there. So we're at a significant distance, not a horrible distance that we were, but definitely something's going on out there. And there's been a heavy presence of law enforcement in and around this area specifically. This is related to Audrey Cunningham disappearance. Audrey Cunningham is an 11-year-old girl that disappeared on February 15th, and she hasn't been seen again. The last person she was seen with was a horrible, horrible man by the name of Stephen McDougal, a friend of her father's. And since then, that has been it.
Sorry, this videotaping is terrible. If you need to shut the camera off, I totally understand why.
I can hear helicopters.
Hey, Ella. Rowena, it's good to see you. Good Lord.
I don't know if I got you guys in the right spot or not.
If you don't say this is opportunistic right here, so they get word that something's going on down there, that there's crime scene tape, that law enforcement is in the area. So what do? They run down there as fast as they can and they're zooming in. Tell me how this isn't opportunistic. Tell me exactly what she is offering to this family, to the case, to anything. Nothing. Unfortunately, she's been found in a very unfortunate, tragic event that law enforcement has to continue to investigate. This is all about clicks and views. That's it. That's all. Don't let her confuse you with the emotional manipulation. She's not even fucking good at it. Hey, Shop.
Hold on, guys.
Sorry,
give me just a second.
Let's fast.
Sorry, guys. I'm trying to run 2 phones at once. And it's hard because I got no place to put you guys.
So concerned. Jeez. Anybody feel like they have the DUI goggles on watching this?
when I get this far, this much of a zoom on it, every little movement seems like it's a huge movement. So I'm sorry if I'm giving you guys some sickness up here, but this is the only way you guys are going to get zoomed in.
You give us the ick all the time, not just in motion sickness. You kind of might be a little contagious on the ick.
We're so far away. Oops. So we don't know what's going on yet. I can tell you that we saw heavy police presence here at this area about an hour or two ago. We saw about, 20 officers, two groups of about 10, both staring at two separate items as we were passing. And we pulled up here and I went live on my main account and we couldn't really see anything. So we decided to change locations. And then we just happened to,
try to get a better view, a better angle.
We were getting to the point where we went and did some footage elsewhere. We did the drive that Stephen most likely took. And we thought before we called it a day, we would come back up here just to see what was going on. And as soon as we got here, we started hearing that there was going to be a press conference around 4, even though it hasn't been notated yet. So we got a press conference, it sounds like today. And then
I think you get the point. I think we all see that she's just opportunistic as hell. Like, there is nothing in this of any type of quality. They pulled up on the screen or on the scene, drove by, couldn't get a view, switched locations to try and get a better angle. She zoomed in as much as possible. Unfortunately, the little girl has been found tragically deceased. This is just disgusting. This is typical BHP. Now, let me offend some of you, because there's a lot of you in here and that's what I'm good at doing. So the conversation keeps getting brought up because I do talk about politics. I don't skirt around that shit whatsoever. But the reason is because people like BHB and other people in these arenas are pushing political agendas and hiding behind things of this. This is why it has to cross into some of the politics. You can't skirt around, because here's the problem. Until we start making changes in policy and legislation and things of that, a lot of the things that they bitch about, such as the border crisis, are never going to be fixed. So prison sentences for reoffending, victims' voices are not heard. Period, point blank, end of story. When they are letting people out that have monstrous backgrounds that should never be let out, that's because of policy and laws that are in place. Bad policy has continued to lead to things of this happening. Granted, this guy has an extensive record. I don't know if he's guilty. I don't know who did anything. We still have to wait and find out. But if you want to skirt around all of the talking about politics or some of these, you're never going to get to the bigger issue here. You just never are. We can't continue to live with one eye shut. Oh, I don't want to talk about that because it makes people uncomfortable. I don't want to talk about that because it makes people not like me because they have different views. Fuck. Everybody's allowed to have their different views. But make sure they're factual views, and what you're actually wanting to be done is supported by the facts. It's not happening. People continue to mix up Betty's agendas. And they continue to say that, she's just exploiting true crime. There's a reason why she's exploiting true crime. We're going to see an amp up of her behavior, 100%. It's election year. Guaranteed. She's watching JLR do it. He's making money and views. It's going to happen. She pushes off so much propaganda. But here's the thing. We all want things to change. That comes with laws, policy, all of this shit. If we just sit here and continue to talk about it, but don't talk about how it's all formed, what are we doing? What do you ever expect? We can talk and talk and talk until we're blue in the face. We can point it out. Betty's one of hundreds out here that do it. One of hundreds. But the legit reasons why these people continue to do this has to be discussed. And very few people will discuss this because they don't want to offend anybody. Totally understand why. But there's a reason why some people can tiptoe around it and still get the point across of what they're doing. Betty is very blatantly obvious with what her movements. Her political agenda is kind of her driving force. That's why she's on this little tour right now. Oh, Chloe, it's definitely already started. It's been going. It's been nonstop. And it's only going to get worse. It's only going to get worse. And I'm not the type to sugarcoat shit. Sorry, just not going to do it. So if it offends you, there's a million other channels that will cater to your sensitive feelings. I'm not one of them. I have a channel because I came on this app because I felt passionate about somebody being exploited. That doesn't change. All it's done is open my eyes to how many other people have been exploited by people like Betty, Spanky, Molly, so many others. There's so many others, but there's a bigger problem behind each and every one of them. They all have these same bullshit that they spew, and we talk about their bad information, but we don't really talk about where that's coming from or why that's coming. Yeah, Jane, I don't know if she will. She can grasp it. She knows, but that's part of the stick. That's part of her irritating people is that's the only reason why she has a channel. Honestly, people hate watch her in my opinion more than they do support her. The people who support her are those people that are very conflicted in their thoughts, very old school set in their ways that they don't want to talk about the actual reason, the foundation of a lot of the shit. They just want to throw shit at the wall and, oh, it's this one's fault. It's this one's fault. You know, that kind of shit. That's her following, in my opinion. Yes. Yes, Jeff. Exactly. It's always because she is so disconnected. If you want to talk about the kids, so let me talk about this. So she's talking about going to the border, right? That's why she was down there. And then this just opportunity arose that a kid went missing. I hate to say it that way, but that's what she said. Yes, just Jake, she unfortunately has been found. A press conference is coming up in 13 minutes, I think. Which I'll probably be done by then. The political, if she was about the kids, I'm going to try to say this as nicely as I fucking can. If she was about the children, if she was so focused on what's happening to the children, why wasn't she loud when kids were being put in cages? Why isn't she fighting for the fact that children are being brought into this country and then not given immigration attorneys or representation for immigration proceedings at 4, 5, 6? They're taken into a courtroom and sat there without legal representation, without their parents. Some of them have been disconnected from. If she gives a fuck about the children, that would be a huge thing. In fact, Am and I were having this discussion last night. I was like, I want to go back to school to be an immigration attorney. Like, this is mind-blowing. And if you don't believe what I'm saying is true, please go do your research. Little kids, it's not about the kids. It's the selective few that can help her push her agenda. She don't give a fuck about the bigger pictures here. These are very targeted narratives that she jumps behind, just like human trafficking. That whole human trafficking, we're going to see a lot of these people jump on humanitarian crises and causes over the next year. It's all a facade. Sorry, it is what it is. And it is going to, she don't have any, thankfully. And I'm willing to say that. Absolutely, Purple. She absolutely does. She has an agenda behind everything she does. And she's not the only one. She's not. But when you only, like, if you look at her demographic of who she caters to, if you look at the cases she covers, there's a very curated look about those situations. She don't want to talk about the kids who are being denied rights, and she doesn't. She has no clue. She doesn't advocate on behalf of anybody with special needs. In fact, I think she called autism a mental illness the other day. And if you call autism a mental illness, you're a fucking ignorant fool. Let me just say that. But there's that. She says so much shit. It's hard to catch every little piece of it. And then it's like, yeah, because that's her wheelhouse. That's her, it's comfortable for her. She is very set in her BS. But she doesn't advocate for shit unless there's opportunistic things behind it. That's it. That's all. I hate that some of you get offended when we bring when I bring politics into it. I'm sorry, but I don't give a fuck anymore. I'm really sorry. I don't give a shit because the bigger picture needs fixed here. We need kids protected. We need laws to change. We have got to start doing something about it. And if we can't talk about the bigger picture of why people like Betty are doing these things and pushing this propaganda, I don't have nothing to say. I can't sit here and be silent and just skirt around the issues. That's just not who I am. Oh my God, Sheila. I can't wait till she gets a pair of them. Honestly. Thank you, Mystery. I'm aggressive and I'm hard for a lot of people because I don't sugarcoat shit. I'm not concerned. Everybody being so sensitive to, oh, gotta shut that off. It's got religion and politics involved in it. That's why we are so anti these conversations, when reality is that we talk about, we want all these things to change, but we don't want to talk about the reason why they're bad to begin with. Bad policy continues to lead to things of this. Like, it's going to be chaotic. And it has to be talked about. I hate to say it, but money and power, all of it. Nisi, I do, to an extent. I'm very selective of what I say publicly because I offend enough people being selective. Just Jake, I appreciate that. The fact of it is you can disagree with me all you want, but have facts behind your disagreements. Actually be able to willingly have a conversation of why things are the way they are. Most of the time when people disagree with me, they don't even realize what they're agreeing or disagreeing with. Yeah, Jane says, I'm Petty Crocker, but you know what avoiding these conversations does? Continues to keep people ignorant to the reasons why there's an invasion at our border, which there's not a fucking invasion at the border. If we would stop destabilizing other countries' economic procedures and policies for selfish means that happened back in 2019. I mean, don't get me started on actually how this all happened, but if we stop destabilizing other people's, there's just so much corruption. It really is. It is. And it's going to be a year of hell. It really is. I always said I would not talk about politics on this channel. And I sat there and the other day I was like, that didn't happen. In order to talk about the topics I talk about, cults that have tax exemption, you have to start looking at the bigger picture. We can talk about all the foundations over and over again, but if you want actual change, you got to talk about the reasons why things are in place. Yep, absolutely, Peg. 100%. Oh, see, now that's bullshit because all you're doing is existing, CL. And if people are offended by your existence, fuck them. That's what I got to say about that. Yeah, Mary. Good question. Because you don't have patience, Nisi? No. I'm not. Just Jake, I wasn't saying you. I was saying you probably missed it the other day. Somebody came in here. I wasn't saying that to you, Just Jake, but there was a guy that came in here and Kyle was like willing to have dialogue with him. His name was Michael, by the way. He was willing to have dialogue with him, and Kyle asked him a question because he made an ignorant statement. And instead of being able to come back and like tell us where he got this information from or anything like that, he just came back with some bullshit. And then he showed up a couple days later and instead of like, oh, this is what I'm talking about, you know, like, go look at this. This is because we told him whatever you're talking about, we'll pull it up and look at it right now. And he wouldn't do that. He just came in, threw some insults and ran again. That's what I'm talking about, not you. Sorry, I should have explained that a little deeper. Please be careful, Lisa. I think that's going to get worse. I know, Just Jake, I know, but I should have clarified too. Yeah, Purple Addict. And, you know, a lot of this stuff is, I hate to even talk about this, but I was raised in a very, very, very conservative home, probably more extreme than most of your views are, even for those of you that are even extreme views. Like, I've been surrounded by Betty's my entire life. And I think that's why I have such a passion about shutting them up, and why it's so important to me, because people that I love and care about are affected by poor policy, laws, parole issues. For those of you that don't know, I'm finishing my video today to show you guys kind of how to help us with Amethyst. But when we have so many bad laws in place, look at Jody Hildebrandt and Ruby Frankie today. 4 counts of 1 to 15 years. So 4 to 60. I guarantee they won't serve probably 2.5. And that's our systems. Our systems need overhauled. Until we talk about these things and understand why these policies are in place, how they became in place, and start making changes about it, all we're doing is sitting up here spewing hot air, which is probably what we're going to do for a long time. But I would like to use my platform. Hey, T. Yeah, Dakine, yes, she is. I would like to use my platform for a little bit more than just hot air. If I wanted to do the drama and fight with somebody, I could do that all fucking day long. All day long. If I was caring about the views, I could go poke at any of these fucking people and get views. Truthfully, it's really easy. If you want to start a channel, just jump into the drama. Just talk shit about somebody. Just say some outrageous shit about somebody. You'll get all the views. It's truthful. When you start talking about real shit, people run and hide because it gets scary. And Mary, you know, the funny thing is, I never expected to come to this. Like, I had to reconcile this a lot myself of what is happening here? How is this even happening in our society? And it's gotten really scary. And the extreme thinking, the cults, there's so much dangerous shit behind some of this. Now, I don't care who you believe in, who you pray to. I don't care. This isn't a personal attack. But if we can't have these discussions of how this continues to happen and how many people are so badly harmed by all of these things, these belief systems, we're not doing anything. A lot of us want change, but when it comes to actually talking about how change comes about, we're uncomfortable. It's time we get uncomfortable. It's time some of you get real uncomfortable and realize what the fuck is going on. I hate to say it, it's the truth. We have these conversations with my in-laws. In fact, my mother-in-law, that's why I had to back off my life, because my mother-in-law was coming over to bring me fresh fruit. And I love my mother-in-law so much. Yes, Mary. And that's the thing, is open dialogue is so important. And Peg, a lot of people, that's a good point. Excuse me, guys. I have a frog in my throat. If anybody can't see what's happening right now, like, people are like, well, you know, Orange Jesus's cases aren't, you know, this, that, and the other thing. Okay, they're all being held up. Why do you think he's intentionally trying to hold these cases up? Because then he's hopeful that he will be elected, and then he can attempt to make them all go away. And if you all want to live under a dictatorship, fuck, go for it. Becky will be getting her passport. I'm sorry, but if you haven't taken the time to educate yourself about what's going on in our society and read Project 2025 and things like that, please do yourself a favor and catch up of where we're headed. Like, it's really some scary shit. And that's the shit Betty's pushing. That's why Betty is doing this. That's why Betty's headed to the invasion. That's why JLR is out there using fear mongering all the time. I can't even stomach that fucking fool at all. Yeah, guess who? Yeah, I did. I saw Burnt Toast's video, or her post on it. Nothing shocks me with Betty anymore. I just wanted to play a few of those because it's driving me nuts to watch these people who are true crime affiliates, whatever they want to call themselves, claim that they give a shit so much, that they love these children. No, you don't. No, you fucking don't. That is weird and disrespectful to the people who did love this child, who are fighting for this child. You have no clue what the hell is going on. And if any of you think that that couldn't be your family that they could do that to, well, I guess some of you might be lucky, because children might not be blonde, blue-eyed, because it seems to be her thing. But yeah, Orion, he is, because what he's doing to so many people doesn't affect others. It's not affecting true crime or victims. Bull fucking shit, it's not. It's fear mongering. It's fucking fear mongering. Same thing Betty's doing, just a different facade. But he's getting a little bit of a pass because people think that what he's doing at the border isn't harming anybody. The hell it isn't. It's harmful to so many people. So many people. Yeah, Purple Addict. We've made some traction. We've really made some traction, and it's a give and take though. Like if you're not learning something and something every day, like you're learning something new, what's the point of living? Like I'm a huge goofball when it comes to education though. I love like, okay, two sides. Don't stick me in an online class that's self-paced because chances are I'll fall asleep. I've got to have something stimulating. Went back and did classes all last week to get my recertifications, and I was falling asleep in half of them. The other ones I was just incredibly in tuned to and learned all sorts of shit. But I love to research. I am a nerd when it comes to that. I will read and read and read article after article after article. I spend more time doing research on anything than I do with being on live. It's because things are constantly changing, and we as people should constantly evolve and open our minds. Like if you want to say you're open-minded, show me you're open-minded. So many of you say you're open-minded and you're not. You're not even remotely open-minded. Nowhere close to open-minded. You wouldn't even know what open-minded is. No. No. Yeah, guess who? Well, she's not alone though. Guess who? She's really not alone. I saw there's a lot of them out here. There's a lot of them. Justin for All is just as bad. Just as bad. In some cases, he's worse. JLR, he's just as bad. What's happening at the border still has victims. There's still victims of what's happening on either side of it. It doesn't matter. And using fear mongering to try and push a narrative is disgusting, in my opinion. All right, you guys, the press conference I think is on. I'm going to let you guys go so you can go watch it, but I'll be back. Probably not today. I got some stuff I want to do. Tomorrow, maybe tomorrow afternoon, we'll see what Betty does. I'm hoping she heads to the border, because if she heads to the border, we're going to be talking policy. We're going to be talking about immigration. We're going to be talking about asylum seeking. We're going to talk about destabilization of countries and why this happened and where it started. And, you know, the things that actually factually happened. Sorry, I'm reading some of these. Yeah. And the other thing too is, her conversations about addiction and mental health. Man, I want to go through a screen. Oh God, it pisses me off. Yeah, guess who? There's quite a few, unfortunately. Goodbye, y'all. I hope you guys all have a great day. Thank you, Mary. I appreciate that. I really appreciate that. T, thank you. Bye, Beth. Beth, how are you feeling? I'm gonna wait for that. Oh, Limey, thank you so much. That depends on who you ask. Julie, thank you so much. I'm very abrasive for a lot of people, and I'm okay with that. Like, I'm not here to make anybody's feelings comfortable. And I realize that, like, this isn't a popularity contest to me. It's not high school for me. I could give two shits less about the drama and stuff. When I end this, I do research and find things that I'm passionate about that I want to speak on. Other than that, like, I'm nice to a fault. I'm to most people, which is crazy. Like, I'm really nice to most people until you cross me. And then once you cross me, there ain't no going back. Like, really, like, it's just terrible. But I appreciate that, Limey, so much. Beth, did you hear me? Thank you so much, Julie. I really appreciate that. Thank you, CL. And don't let anybody fucking tell you you don't belong or you're not worth. Fuck those people. And if you need me to say it to them, just let me know. I'm good at doing that. Yes, it is, Lady Canine. Bree, I love you too. Beth probably already left. Yeah, yeah, Limey, right. Yeah, yeah, Mary, it's bad. Bye, Miss Leah. Okay, I'm waiting one more minute to see if Beth answers me. I've been worried about her for a while. She might have already got pieced out, though. The fear-mongering at the border is just so embarrassing. It's so embarrassing, and we're gonna see so much of this. CPAC's coming up next week, too. Actually, this week. It starts this week. Fucking Tim Ballard. God dang. All right, she's already out. So, okay, I will see you guys all later. Have a great rest of your day. Stay safe out here. And remember, y'all matter. Even, I don't want to say that, but even BHB matters to somebody. Just not me. But yeah, I'll leave it at that. I'll leave it at that because I ain't gonna go. What it's gonna come out isn't gonna be good. Goodbye, y'all.